March 11th, 2011. A routine Friday became the deadliest day in modern Japan. But it was only the beginning.
A tsunami that sent a giant wall of water racing towards the coast.
A sudden explosion occurred. Something that shouldn't have happened. From that moment, the disaster threatened not just Japan, but the entire world.
It is...
Wait, this happened March 2011? This happened 2011, so I was alive. And I never heard about this. That's crazy. What the fuck?
fact in this part of Japan that at this moment in time, there are not enough living to take care of the dead.
The first warning signs appeared on March 9th, 2011, 2 days before the disaster. 11:45 a.m., a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Sanriku, Japan, shaking buildings and briefly alarming residents. It was powerful, but not unusual for a country accustomed to tremors. 3 more earthquakes occurred on the same day, in the same area, each with a magnitude exceeding 6.0. But life quickly returned to normal, and still, no one knew this was the Earth's first whisper before the roar. 11th of March 2011, 2:45 p.m.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built
Japan's earthquake early warning system detected the initial P waves through over 1,000 seismometers spread across the country and immediately issued an emergency earthquake warning. As a result, high-speed trains came to a halt, factories shut down their machinery, and children in schools were instructed to take cover. Only when the ground began to tremble did they realize something was wrong. But by then, it was already too late.
Cranes up there. They're shaking like crazy. This is massive.
Wow.
2:46 p.m. A 9.1 magnitude underwater megathrust earthquake occurred in the northwestern Pacific Ocean at a relatively shallow depth of 18 miles. The epicenter was around 45 miles east of the Oshika Peninsula of Tohoku, Japan, and the tremors were felt throughout the country and even beyond.
The terrifying moment when it all began. A super earthquake and nowhere to hide.
The most terrifying part was that this was only the beginning.
Damn.
Since Kurihara City, Miyagi Prefecture, was closest to the epicenter, it experienced the strongest shaking, a 7 intensity on the JMA scale. However, very strong tremors were also felt in Iwate, Fukushima, Ibaraki, and Tochigi prefectures. Tokyo, which is about 232 miles from the epicenter, also witnessed the Earth's wrath as high rises continued to sway for minutes.
You see the buildings?
But that's not.
You see the buildings? They just swaying, y'all. They like this. Now imagine that. I don't know which one would be more scary. This being in this event, but they said this shook the whole world though. So how come I didn't feel this in Brooklyn? I don't know. But if I would say the most scary event, it would be this to me. 9/11 would be second. This would be first though, but 9/11 was a pretty scary event though. It was very, very scary. But this right here would, cause nature is unpredictable, y'all. So that's the thing I'm most afraid of is nature. Cause nature could just go bonkers anytime, and you can't stop it. You could stop a bomber. You could stop a kamikaze. You could stop certain shit that you could stop human attacks. You know what I'm saying? But a nature attack, shit, man, you can't even be ready for that. You can't even prepare yourself. You could try. We've been trying. But that's the point I'm trying to make is that it's uncontrollable. You know what I'm saying? It's undetainable.
At all. Kyoto and Osaka, which are hundreds of miles away in western Japan, also reported noticeable tremors. Outside Japan, parts of China, Russia, and Taiwan also felt the quake. In fact, it was so intense that seismic instruments detected it across the entire globe. The tremors were so strong that they caused the Earth to wobble about 7 inches on its axis. For 6 endless minutes, the Earth did not stop. During this time, Japan realized that no technology could predict and stop what nature had awakened.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. This is weird. I've never experienced the ground shaking like this.
Mother and child were at home when the ground shook violently. Everything around her began to shake violently, and she immediately realized that it was a major earthquake. She quickly grabbed her son and ran outside, hoping that the shaking would stop soon. When she went outside, she saw more and more people running out of their homes, each of them desperately trying to help their loved ones. Both she and her son survived the earthquake, but the worst was yet to come.
Comment below, where's the safest place to go when it's an earthquake? I, for one, was told you go under like a desk or your bed or something, you know, something that could withstand the impact of a fall. So if something was to fall on you, that can withstand the impact, so you won't be crushed. So that's what I was told, and I was told that years ago when I was about 6, 7, or even younger. So and I've never been in an earthquake before, y'all. So I never experienced one, and I don't want to. I'm pretty sure these things is like terrifying, bro. Like just watching the video got me shocked. Like damn. So I would never want to be in one of these shits. But you could never tell. You could never know. You know what I'm saying? Like the earth is changing. Things is happening in different parts of the world that it never happened before. You know what I'm saying? So you never know what the fuck might come your way when you dealing with nature. But I don't want to be in one of these, and I don't want to be in one of these.
Under the ocean, tension had been building for centuries, and on that day, it broke through.
The bottom underneath is still shaking. We were just driving, and the car was shaking from left to right. It's amazing. It's amazing. Everything was shaking really, really strong. You can see still the cables up there moving.
When silence returned, Japan did not yet know that the real hell was just happening. Japan's main island, Honshu, had been pushed 7.9 feet eastward, while parts of the coastline had sunk nearly 3 feet, swallowed slightly deeper by the sea. Most of Japan's modern buildings survived, but a significant portion of older structures suffered various types of damage, with oil refineries catching fire under the strong shaking. The Cosmo oil refinery suffered a worse fate as it burned uncontrollably for days, turning the skyline black with smoke and ash. The most destruction was observed near the epicenter, as it bore the full force of the 9-magnitude earthquake. Almost 200 people lost their lives to the earthquake itself, and the cost of destruction was staggering, an estimated $200 billion. Yet, even in the midst of smoke and rubble, people believed they had survived the worst. But far below the calm-looking Pacific,
not over?
The real disaster was awakening. Minutes after the earthquake, the ocean began to rise unnaturally, the first ominous sign of a tsunami.
Oh my god. Now, between an earthquake and a tsunami, I would rather be in an earthquake. I would rather be in an earthquake, bro. I wouldn't rather be in any, but shit, if if it's only two things happening in the world and you had to be on either side, I would rather be on the side where the earthquake is happening, y'all. Cause I can't swim for one. For one, I can't swim, and I I love the water, but I hate the water at the same time because I can't swim. I can't swim, y'all. So I'm a liability. I'm gonna end up drowning, son. I'm gonna end up drowning. But with the earthquake, I could, take cover. I could jump. I could maneuver. But that water, I can't do nothing. I'm helpless. I'm dead. Damn. What would you rather? Earth? What would you rather be in? I know you rather not be in any, but if it were a scenario, like I said, if two things is happening in the world and you had to be on with either side, which side would you be on? The side with the earthquake or the side that is having a tsunami? Comment below.
49 p.m. The Japan Meteorological Agency issued tsunami warnings. At the time, the maximum estimated wave heights were 20 feet, but a GPS buoy off of Iwate's coast soon detected a terrifying truth. The sea level was rising far faster and far higher than anyone had imagined. This wasn't a wave, it was a wall, and it was going to slam into Japan's coastline.
Live coverage of a river in Miyagi Prefecture. Tsunami obviously hitting, water going upwards towards the river.
The JMA quickly issued a second tsunami warning, upgrading the tsunami heights to over 33 feet for Miyagi and 20 feet for Iwate and Fukushima. At 3:21 p.m., a 26-foot high wave slammed into Miyako in Iwate Prefecture, the closest city to the earthquake's epicenter. Miyako's position along the Sanriku coast with its deep V-shaped bays funneled and amplified the tsunami's power, causing it to hit earlier and far more violently than anywhere else. But here's the remarkable part. The Sanriku district had already faced the tsunami's destructive forces before in 1933 and 1960. And learning from those bitter experiences,
I am the center of the universe. The only emperor of the galaxy.
protective seawalls were built around the coastal area to protect it from future disasters. It seemed like everything should have been safe, right? But the waves were so high that they crashed down on Sanriku with incredible force that day.
A tsunami that sent a giant wall of water racing towards the coast, tossing cars, boats, and buildings like fragile toys.
Bro, look at that. This is why, bro. And first of all, you can't even swim in that water. You are getting smothered, bro. You getting crushed. It got cars, houses, buses, oil tanks, all types of shit in that water. You're not even swimming, bro. There's no room in there. You getting impaled by something, bro. You're gonna die in that. So it sounds crazy, but shit, I would rather an earthquake. What the fuck? Shit. This is crazy. So the earthquake happened first, and then this. And this is all because of the Titanic plate, I think. The magnet plate, they said. No, a crack in the epicenter or something. In the ocean. Damn. Damn, son.
One man heard the sirens and stepped outside, camera in hand, to capture the approaching waves, but nothing could prepare him for what he was about to witness. The ocean was moving faster than anyone imagined, swallowing the neighborhood in seconds. He quickly moved towards higher ground, but soon realized that he wasn't high enough. The water kept rising, and the waves turned deadly, tearing houses from their foundations. He survived the tsunami, but a ticking bomb, just 100 miles away, was about to change his country's fate forever. 3:22 p.m.
It's not
One-
all.
was
Imagine that being in school while this is happening. Like you literally have nowhere to go but under a desk. And the desk itself is not even strong because you could pick that desk up and throw it. So imagine what a piece of the ceiling could do. Imagine what the water could do. Imagine, bro, damn, son. And this happened March 2011. Damn. And they said it was around the world. Almost ended the world or something like that. So how the fuck I didn't know about this? I mean, damn, is Brooklyn like damn, Brooklyn is cursed and blessed at the same time, if you think about it, because we are away from so much shit. The city, really, not just Brooklyn, the city. New York City, it's in a good spot. Like it's away from all the natural disasters. It's away from, well, it's in a good bad spot. It's away from the natural disasters, but it's away from natural resources. So it's in a good bad spot. And it's full of pollution. So we still fuck. We still fuck. Regardless, we polluting the world. The world, yeah. We are the main one doing it. But yeah, we fuck.
preparing a new merciless strike.
Some guy with a helmet on, he ran in and he was like, tsunami's coming. And then the principal was like, okay, everyone run back to the school. Help us. And finally I was able to like grab a hold of the desk and pull it closer to me, and then was able to grab them one by one, and we were able to get them over.
We find the toys, books, the shoes of the children piled inside.
What kind of weirdo shit is this?
With care.
That's just the school.
Was only
That's just the school, bro. That's just how many kids died in the school and staff.
30 minutes after dragging debris, vehicles, and collapsed buildings back into the ocean. Many people who had clung to debris or floated on rooftops during the flooding were mercilessly swept away with a powerful current. Others who had fled to higher ground helplessly watched their broken houses being pulled away into the sea. It was in this moment that people realized the true extent of the devastation. Entire stretches of low-lying land remained submerged, making rescue operations nearly impossible. By the end of the day, more than 18,000 people had lost their lives, out of which several thousand bodies of victims were never recovered. The aftermath was unbearable to witness. Entire towns had vanished, replaced by silence and debris. Two sons combed through the wreckage for their family, only to find their mother inside her car, lifeless, beside their niece and nephew.
There is no place to put this many bodies. The morgues are completely full. And frankly, there aren't enough people to move them. It is a fact in this part of Japan that at this moment in time, there are not enough living to take care of the dead.
The devastating tsunami did not stop at Japan's shores.
Damn. It's not enough living to take care of the dead. Do you comprehend that? Do you understand that? Like, damn. That means everywhere you look, it's a dead body. Just like everywhere you go outside, you see somebody walking. Everywhere you look, it's a dead body. That's how it was looking. Damn. That's crazy.
It burst from the epicenter, racing across the Pacific Ocean at nearly 500 miles an hour. Within hours, 12-foot waves struck Hawaii and the Aleutian Islands of Alaska before reaching California and Oregon. In Crescent City, the waves destroyed the harbor. Docks were torn apart, boats smashed, and damage reached $25 to $30 million. In Santa Cruz, dozens of boats sank, piers were shattered, and losses exceeded $17 million. After 18 hours, the tsunami even reached Antarctica. A foot-high wave broke off part of the Salzburger ice shelf. But while everyone was trying to comprehend the scale of the catastrophe, a more deadly crisis was unfolding at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant.
No
the site
way,
had
bro.
silently turned into a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. The power plant is located in Okuma and Futaba towns, Fukushima Prefecture.
This day was just the worst day in the world. This day was just a day to not even come outside. This not even coming outside would save you. This was just a day of eradication. Like, God was just angry. He said, this was, I don't know, bro. This is crazy. All of these massive, tragic, like, disastrous events happening, like, back to back in the same day. Minutes apart. What the fuck? The universe was angry. The universe was angry with Japan, bro. I don't know.
On Japan's east coast, when the earthquake struck at 2:46 p.m.
Not even Japan, the world, because this shit damn near hit the world. So it was angry. The universe was angry with the world. God was angry with the world.
The plant lost its main power supply when transmission lines went down, so the reactor switched to emergency diesel generators to keep the cooling systems running and prevent overheating. Inside the plant, Atsufumi Yoshizawa, an engineer responsible for reactors 5 and 6, had no idea that what seemed under control in just 55 minutes would turn into a full-scale catastrophe.
Damn, so what,
a 49-foot-high tsunami wave struck the Fukushima coast, towering over the plant's 19-foot seawall and overwhelming everything in its path. The wave flooded the plant, destroying diesel generators and electrical systems in the basements. Within seconds, the facility was plunged into darkness, cooling stopped, and the temperature in the reactors began to rise rapidly. The emergency signals coming to Yoshizawa were getting worse and worse. At that moment, he realized that the situation was getting out of control, and the station was on the verge of disaster. The Japanese government quickly ordered the first evacuation within a 1.9-mile radius of the power plant. Residents in the 2 to 6 mile zone were told to stay indoors, but as radiation levels spiked, the evacuation zone was expanded to a 6-mile radius. 7:30 p.m. Despite desperate attempts by engineers to reduce the pressure, the reactor continued to heat up rapidly. By morning, the temperature had reached critical levels, and internal components of the reactor began to melt, bringing disaster closer.
Oh, that shit blew up. Yo.
EVE Online is a vast universe.
You know what? Watch this
alive
commercial
with the
while I come right
unrelenting
back.
activity
I'll be right back.
and combined history of its players. Pursuing lives of adventure, warfare, and prosperity, they share this existence in the biggest single shard, free-to-play MMO of all time. Set 21,000 years in the future, EVE takes place in a distant cluster of over 7,000 star systems known as New Eden. It is a rich and diverse universe featuring densely populated havens of relative
I
safety,
told you I wasn't gonna be
governed
too
by
long.
4 great
12th of March 2011, 3:36 p.m. A hydrogen explosion ripped through the first unit, tearing off the roof of the reactor building. It was now clear that the Fukushima nuclear power plant was out of control, and the government quickly expanded the evacuation zone to 12 miles. But the nightmare continued. For 2 days, specialists fought desperately to stabilize the plant. But on March 14th at 11:01, the third unit exploded, even more powerful than the first, causing seismic damage and the release of radioactive waste, and a partial meltdown of the core occurred in the second reactor. On March 15th, 2011, the second unit began to massively release radioactive gases. Although there was no explosion there, this release gave the highest radiation levels. On the same day, a fire broke out in the spent fuel storage area of the fourth unit, which released additional radionuclides into the atmosphere. It was then that Atsufumi Yoshizawa realized that Fukushima had finally turned into a full-scale nuclear disaster.
The situation's still far from under control. We're hearing radiation levels inside the plant reached as high as 1,000 times the normal level. So what started as a natural disaster has the potential to become an even more threatening man-made disaster.
The power plant had reached its most critical phase, and most people were expecting an evacuation. However, a small group of men, later known as the Fukushima 50, stayed inside the nuclear plant. These men, mostly TEPCO employees, engineers, technicians, and operators, had a terrifyingly clear mission: stabilize the reactors, prevent a full meltdown, and contain the radiation at any cost. The Fukushima 50 were not soldiers or heroes by choice. They were ordinary workers who refused to leave when their country needed them most.
It's frightening. I don't know much about radiation, but I believe that being exposed to large amounts of it meant certain death, so fear is only natural. But counteracting that fear was a sense of duty that all of us felt.
Yoshizawa and his colleagues remained at the plant for an entire month, working under deadly conditions to bring the station under control and restore hope for a safer future. In truth, without the Fukushima 50, the nuclear disaster could have been far worse,
Shit,
and the
shout out to
world
them.
might look very different today.
Shout out to them, man. Shit, I better thank them. Yeah, they put their life on the line for this.
Neo Kimura lived with his wife and 2 daughters next door to his parents. When the tsunami struck, the waves swept away his father, his wife, and his youngest daughter, 7-year-old Yuna. All that remained was the empty foundation where their home once stood.
これは震災半年後ぐらいに This is a shoe she was wearing that day, which was found in a heap of rubble 6 months after the disaster.
Unfortunately, there was no time to mourn his family, as Neo had to vacate the area due to the looming threat from the Fukushima power plant. More than a decade later, the remains of all 111 people who died in Okuma that day have been found, all except for Yuna. By March 20th, power to the plant had been partially restored, but it took several more weeks before the cooling systems were fully operational. The explosions left behind more than just ruins. Radioactive particles spread across Japan, reaching even the United States and Europe. TEPCO later admitted that over 10,000 tons of contaminated water had leaked into the ocean. The fallout rendered vast areas around the plant uninhabitable. Even after years of cleanup, more than 100,000 people remained displaced. The Fukushima disaster became the costliest nuclear accident in history, with expenses exceeding $180 billion. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake was not only the most powerful ever recorded in Japan, its effects were felt around the world, and debris from Japanese towns still wash up on the North American coast, a haunting reminder of that day. More than 120,000 buildings were reduced to rubble. Nearly 20,000 lives were lost, and thousands remain missing. The total damage reached $235 billion, making it the most expensive natural disaster in human history. Japan has risen to its feet once more, but March 11th, 2011 left a scar not only on its land, but on the world's collective memory. A reminder of a power that shows no mercy.
Wow. That was crazy. And Japan is surrounded by water, so I could just imagine how devastating that was, bro, because it's like nowhere to go in Japan. Like, damn. But that shit felt all around the world, though. Just imagine what like the what that's probably not even a quarter of what the world could do. That's probably just like 2%. That's probably 2%. We probably haven't even seen 15%. It's crazy. Shit, man. It's ScareTopics. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, comment, turn on your notifications so you could get your uploads, your early uploads. Hey, catch me on the next one.